Imagine a gun is pressed against the back of your head. The metal is cold. The person holding it doesn't know how to do long division, but they know exactly how to pull a trigger. You are sitting at a mahogany desk in the middle of the jungle, surrounded by stacks of dirty cash that smell like gasoline and blood. You are sweating, but your hands must remain steady. You are not a soldier. You are not a drug lord. You are a guy with a degree in finance who made one wrong choice. You are the cartel accountant. In the criminal underworld, they say the boss is the heart, the Sicarios are the fists, but the accountant is the oxygen. Without you, the billions of dollars are just useless paper. You are the most valuable asset in the organization, and simultaneously, the most endangered species on Earth. Why? Because you know where every single penny is buried. And that makes you a liability. Welcome to the most stressful job in the world. Let's look at your spreadsheet. How does a nerd end up working for narco-terrorists? You don't find this job on LinkedIn. Usually, it starts with greed. Maybe you were a mid-level banker, frustrated with your stagnant salary. Maybe you owned a small currency exchange business that was struggling. Then, a man in a nice suit walks in. He offers you a simple consulting gig. Help us optimize our tax flow, he says. He pays you $10,000 cash for one afternoon of work. It feels easy. It feels safe. But the second time, the favor gets bigger. We need to move $500,000 to a shell company in Panama. You hesitate. The man smiles, but his eyes don't. He mentions your wife's name. He mentions where your daughter goes to school. Suddenly, you realize you didn't just take a job. You signed a lifetime contract written in invisible ink. You are now property of the cartel. Your base salary jumps to $50,000 a month. You are rich. But you will never sleep soundly again. Your job isn't just counting bills. Your job is magic. You have to take dirty money, cash from selling drugs on street corners in New York or Los Angeles, and turn it into clean digital numbers in a legitimate bank account in Mexico City. If you fail, the boss goes to prison for tax evasion, like Al Capone. If you steal, you go to a barrel of acid. You use three main techniques. First, the Smurfs. You can't deposit $1 million at once. The bank creates a report for anything over $10,000. So, you hire an army of regular people, grandmothers, students, taxi drivers. You give them each $9,000. They go to hundreds of different banks and deposit the cash into seemingly random accounts. It's tedious, but it works. Second, trade-based laundering. This is your masterpiece. You advise the boss to buy a tomato export company. You ship a truckload of tomatoes to the US worth $5,000. But on the invoice, you write that these are premium organic rare tomatoes worth $500,000. The buyer, another cartel shell company, pays the invoice legitimately. The bank sees a valid trade deal. The drug money comes home looking like agricultural profit. Third, crypto and dark pools. In the modern era, you are the tech wizard. You move millions through Monero or Mixer services, bouncing the funds across jurisdictions faster than the DEA can type a subpoena. You are constantly playing a chess game against the best forensic accountants of the FBI. If they win, your boss loses his freedom. If your boss loses his freedom, you lose your life. In a normal company, an audit is boring. In a cartel, an audit is a physiological torture session. Once a month, the boss calls you in. He doesn't understand Excel, but he has intuition. He looks at the pile of cash and asks, "Why is there only $4 million here? We moved 5 tons last week." Now you have to explain exchange rates, interdiction losses, and bribery fees to a sociopath who barely finished middle school. You have to show him that the missing 10% isn't theft, it's the cost of doing business. You show him the bribes paid to the Port Authority. You show him the fees for the lawyers. If you stutter, he gets suspicious. If you sweat too much, he gets suspicious. There are stories of accountants who made a simple rounding error, a zero in the wrong place. They weren't fired. They were found hanging from a bridge with a calculator stuffed in their mouth. This is why you check your work 3 times. You don't double-check for accuracy, you double-check for survival. Let's talk about the perks. You are making more money than a Wall Street CEO. You have $50,000 to $100,000 coming in every month in cash. But here is the paradox: you cannot spend it. You can't buy a Ferrari, because the tax authority will ask how a consultant can afford it. You can't buy a mansion in your own name. You live in a modest house, driving a Toyota, wearing a cheap watch, while you have $3 million buried in PVC pipes in your backyard. You are the richest poor man in the city. The boss invites you to parties. You see the excess, the tigers, the gold-plated guns, the models. But you sit in the corner, sipping water. You are the designated driver of the financial vehicle. You know that everyone in that room is doomed. You look at the Sicarios laughing, and you calculate their life expectancy, 18 months. You look at the boss, and you calculate the probability of extradition, 85%. You are cursed with the knowledge of the numbers. Eventually, the day comes. You are driving home, and 3 black SUVs block your path. It's not a rival cartel. It's the DA. They don't put a bag over your head, they put a folder on the table. They know everything. They show you photos of your deposits. They show you transcripts of your calls. They offer you a choice: prison for 40 years, or you give us the boss. This is the accountant's dilemma. If you stay loyal, you rot in a supermax prison until you die. If you talk, you enter witness protection. You get a new name, a new face, and you move to Omaha, Nebraska, to manage a Cinnabon. But you will spend the rest of your life looking over your shoulder. Because the cartel has long memories, and they hate rats more than anything. Most accountants choose option 3, they try to run. They try to steal a chunk of the money they hid and vanish to an island without extradition treaties. But stealing from a thief is a dangerous game. The cartel hires specialized hunters just for people like you. They don't want the money back as much as they want to make an example. So, is it worth it? You are the smartest guy in the room. You control the lifeblood of an empire. You can manipulate economies with a few keystrokes. But look at your hands. They are shaking. You realize that you are just a glorified ATM machine. And when an ATM stops working or dispenses the wrong amount, people don't fix it gently. They smash it. You are the cartel accountant. You know the price of everything: a kilo of product, a bribe for a judge, a hit on a rival. But you realize too late that you forgot to calculate the price of your own soul. And that balance sheet is deep in the red. This is the underground explainer. We have analyzed the hierarchy, and we have analyzed the money. Next time, we are going inside the most dangerous place on earth, the prison economy. Hit subscribe if you want to know how a pack of cigarettes can buy a human life. Class dismissed.